Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Welcome to Super Subs Podcast. Your host, Harish and Narvin. So we're back, baby. Got a
A lot
ton
of
of
things
games.
happening
Oh
around
yeah,
the world.
a lot happening. Um, so before we kind of dive in today, let's start with uh per usual Super Subs of the week. Narva, I'll let you kick it off.
So my super sub of the week, and we'll touch on the game later on, I'm sure, but it'll be from the FA Cup weekend. Joshua Xerxes. He had a lot of basically a falling out with our fans, but seemed like redeemed himself, made himself a hero. So he'll be my super sub for the week.
Yeah, he looked solid against Arsenal. I'm sure that will be probably one of our main games we'll talk about today, but yeah, solid performance. Um, my super sub of this week is the man that saved the Reds uh, from dropping all 3 points yesterday, Diego Jota. Somehow, the smallest man on the pitch is always able to find these headers. He's sneaky good in the air, just finds the right spots. Um, but it
Yeah,
seemed like Sells was kind of like unbeatable yesterday, and then
yeah.
Diego Jota got that header.
And I'm sure we'll touch on that game too for sure, but um like Forest, their back line is they got some big boys back there, so him getting the header is quite impressive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, so let's start with the weekend games.
Or sorry, before we start off with the games, you wanna hit on any since January was like officially transfer window open, you wanna give listeners some like updates on managers or like a few transfer rumors that I've been hearing?
Yeah, I guess we could start with maybe the managers. I like that idea. We need a moment of silence for our boy, I think first. Sean Dyche. He got sacked by Everton recently. This was what, a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I think last week it was like late last week. Um,
So now he's the sixth manager in the Premier League to get sacked.
did
So
him dirty.
yeah, unfortunate. So Ten Hag was the first one to go, then Steve Cooper for Leicester. Uh, Amarin replaced United. Roy replaced Cooper. Southampton sacked Russell Martin. I forget who replaced him.
It's that Ivan something.
That's
He got
right.
he got sacked in Roma like no time.
Roma, yep. Um, and then Gary O'Neill got sacked by Wolves. Lopetegui got sacked by West Ham. That was a pretty big one. And then Graham Potter ended up, he's the manager of that team now. I'm excited for that one. And then Everton's new manager, bringing back, uh, I'm blanking on his name. West Ham manager.
Oh, David
Oh,
Moyes.
David Moyes. Yep. OG.
Yeah. That game today, like the reception he got was it was kind of chills because I don't think people realize, but like he was a really good manager at Everton. Would always let him like challenge them like European spots with like a not the greatest of Everton squads, let's be honest.
hmm
His time at Everton was like crazy what he did.
Oh yeah, completely agree. And I guess West Ham was a fair step up, and even West Ham, he improved that team greatly.
Got them a trophy, first ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the way he was kind of forced out though.
Yeah, I do like how Lopetegui got sacked quite early too, though. Kind of
It
just karma.
yeah. It should have been sooner though, to be honest.
Hmm.
But I mean David Moyes, he has a tough task at hand right now, barely above that relegation zone. So,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty confident in him to get them through. And I think that's most in terms of managers, right?
Yeah.
And then in terms of uh player transfers, the only one I'm really aware of, I guess, so far is Villa signing Daniel Malen from Dortmund. That
Hmm.
was a epic pick. Kind of came out of nowhere too. Um, he's a solid player. But other than that, I haven't heard too too many
Yeah,
players.
it's been surprisingly like very quiet. Uh, like I did see today's rumor though, and we'll touch on them, but Bayern Munich and Chelsea looking to do a swap deal,
Yep.
with Nkunku to Bayern and Matthias Tell to Chelsea. We're linked with a youngster from Salzburg, um, Nene Dorglis. Um, and then another transfer rumor, uh, or one that's been confirmed is like City getting this 18-year-old center back from Lens. I forget how to say his name, but he has like really big potential. And
Hmm.
then another rumor I saw was Arsenal agreed to terms with Zubamendi for like the
Ooh,
summer. So we'll see.
that's a good signing. Um, and then I think you mentioned this, but Ben Godfrey is coming to Ipswich. I think
Oh, that's right.
he's on loan
Yep.
now from Atalanta. Um, that kind of sucks
Oh,
from going to like a Serie A contention team, one of the hottest teams right now in the world, to Ipswich.
yeah. But at least he'll get for sure playing time.
Yeah.
Um,
And then also your boy you said was mad underrated for Bournemouth is out to Napoli on loan. Philip Billing.
uh, yeah.
That was kind of out of nowhere uh as well. And then I think another one we've actually been seeing him play in the Premier League already is Kinski, the
Yes.
goalkeeper for Tottenham. That was a very huge signing, low key.
Good emergency signing.
Oh yeah, and he's looked pretty decent for Tottenham
Hmm.
so far. So he was signed from Prague, but shot stopping wise, he looks pretty good, but from his feet, he looks
Still the
sketchy.
and then another Ipswich signing, Jaden Philogene. He's kind of in and out of the Villa squad. I mean, it's hard to
Oh, that's
displace
right.
Leon Bailey, but he'll probably get some PT at Ipswich. And then I feel like this transfer's been really quiet compared to past seasons. We're still waiting on Rashford. Apparently, there's interest from like Barca, Milan, or Dortmund. And then there's rumors, but I hope it doesn't happen, is Garnacho to Napoli. I saw rumors of Napoli wanting him as well as Atletico.
Mm. And then lastly, I know we've talked about Chelsea's situation with the defense. I think Disasi might be heading out the door, unfortunately. But it sounds like we're recalling Chalobah from our loan with
Mhm.
Palace.
Yeah,
So
I feel like you got to get the Deadwood out. Um,
we have a lot of players that are gonna go out. I think Kearney, uh, Chukwuemeka's probably going out to Bundesliga, hopefully just on loan. I do want to keep him. Disasi, Ben Chilwell likely is going out as well. Um, and I'm sure I'm missing a few others. Oh, big one. Nkunku. We need to get that brother out, man.
Come to us. He'll fit right in our system.
Yeah, I think he would really enjoy playing for y'all. Could play at the nine or kind of that
Because
number.
yeah, he's not a true out and out striker. So,
Exactly. Yeah. It just hasn't fit with us. And the thing I dislike about him the most is just his unwillingness to help the team. And he's just, he's very lazy.
and his drug abuse, um, the balloons. No, I'm playing. That's just a
Speaking
joke.
of drug abuse, where do you think Paul Pogba is gonna go now that he can play? Speaking of
That,
actual drug abuse.
nah, that one, his doc is his doctor's fault. He didn't take it knowingly. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think like there were rumors of City wanting him, but I don't think he would fit in that Pep system. because I mean, he needs someone to really cover him, do the defensive work for him.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, we've seen it when he feels like playing, he looks like probably the best like midfielder in the world.
Oh yeah.
But he's aged, hasn't played in so long, so I think it might be like close to just collect the bag, um, reunite with Conte at Saudi.
Ooh. Um, I was thinking he goes to his homeland in France, to your boys Marseille, possibly.
Ooh, that'd be a nice pickup.
I think he would enjoy playing there, that
Hmm.
type of system.
Yeah.
But I think that's all in terms of transfers and managers. Can you think of anyone else?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to divert, but that we'd give an update.
Oh yeah. So hopefully there's some more that play out, but
Because the window closes end of January, right? Or is
I,
it?
I'm not sure when it closes. I know Premier League is one of the earlier leagues that close, but yeah, let's move on to games from this weekend. It's mostly just the FA Cup in England. Uh, I don't remember Saturday watching many of the game. I watched like our game against Morecambe, I think, and we destroyed that team. But props to that keeper. He was saving the team for a while, but I don't really remember watching any other games. But I think we should just dive into Sunday with Manchester United versus Arsenal.
What a performance! What a match! Um, that was one. I think that match is up there for like probably one of the proudest I've been as a supporter. Um, because just to give a quick breakdown, first half I thought we did well with possession, but didn't create chances. Arsenal had a few chances here and there, maybe, but even defensively, we looked really solid. And then second half, finally decided to do something on the attack. And that Bruno finish was great on the half volley. Uh,
Hmm.
and so we looked like we were in control. And then um, who got the equalizer for Arsenal? Now I'm blanking.
Oh, the defender Gabriel.
Ah, that's right, Gabriel. I thought it was a weak punch by Bayender.
Yeah, it was pretty poor keeping.
Yeah. And after that, or right before that, I think we had gotten the red card by Dallo. Um,
Oh yeah, I think
and,
before that red card, y'all looked pretty solid. It was a pretty even game.
hmm Um, and coming into the game, like obviously I've been saying that Arsenal don't scare me in the attack. Losing out Saka makes it even less scary. The only thing I was nervous about with this game was Bayender. I didn't think he's a very good goalkeeper. Um, but yeah, after Dallo got the red, we were just under attack, but we worked really hard defensively as a unit,
Hmm.
running for our lives for each other. Um, the one moment where I was like, man, I'm so proud of the boys was I think it was towards the
Boys.
80 something minute. Because we were just defending the whole time, and then
Hmm.
we kind of try to do a smash and grab there towards the end. But we kind of turned it over, and Arsenal were on the counter. And what we would see in past years would be like just a half-hearted jog, but these guys, they were like hauling it. Full out sprint back, got into shape, and Arsenal kind of lost some momentum on the counterattack. Um, the Delit goal line clearance in the
Hmm.
extra time. I love Passion Merchants, so like when he celebrated, I was like, "Oh, this is so hype." And then Byender, he made two good one save on Odegaard on the PK, great save.
That was a good PK too, like right in the
In the
corner.
corner. Yeah. And then save on uh, a Rice header, which was really nice.
And he had one on Havertz too, I forget. I think it was a Havertz header too.
Yeah.
But
So,
for him, like considering how tall, because he's mega tall, it looks like. Um,
mhm.
the two weaknesses, dude, one is definitely like with his feet, but the other one is crosses. He's terrible on
Yeah, he can't
crosses.
claim anything.
I'm like, dude, use your height advantage.
Yeah. And so ultimately we took Arsenal to PKs. And then Xerxes, he had a good cameo when he did come on. Very nice hold up play. Um, created a
Dude, he
few
put Saliba
chances.
on the floor.
Yeah,
That
Saliba
was
on the
crazy.
floor and made Jorginho run into Saliba and then ultimately took the game winning PK. So great from us, but I think this game kind of highlights just how much Arsenal are in desperate need of a striker,
Oh
which
yeah.
which is why I found it baffling that they're after Zubamendi. Like I was like, after all this, because Havertz he missed some. I'll say we got a bit lucky because Havertz did miss a few sitters.
Yeah, I agree. I think if City had a legit attacker,
Oh, you mean
forward,
Arsenal?
who did I say City?
Yeah.
Yeah, if City too. But yeah, if Arsenal had a legit uh attacker or forward, I think they would have won that game. Probably a lot of games this year that they've dropped points. We've been saying it all season, even before the season, that they needed to shore up their front, and then even
Yeah.
a backup for Saka, because they've been running him to the ground. Now he's getting a hamstring surgery. But yeah, let's focus on your boys first, United. Uh, my man of the match was Harry Maguire in this one. I thought he looked incredible, and
A
he got
monster.
he got me riled up when he was actually man of the match, Andy Madley. He was trying to win it for Arsenal, dude.
Oh
Some
yeah.
of the calls were ridiculous, especially with no VAR. I was like, dude,
Mhm.
this was so frustrating.
Yeah. Harry
Um,
Maguire, he's an inspiration for like mentality wise. Went from
mentality.
getting trolled on to like just being probably one of the most important like glue to our defenses under Amarim.
Yeah, and he usually doesn't get too fired up, but when he does, it's because there's a reason. And that
Uh-huh.
Havertz penalty, like it was clearly a dive.
Yeah. Yeah, clear dive.
Um, he was my man of the match. I thought Bruno's been looking really good as
Hmm.
well. Um, but man, y'all might have the signing of the season with um not Mazarawi, but Ugarte, dude.
He was looking good. He
Yeah.
passed you. It took him. He had a slow start, but he's been looking really good past few games.
Yeah, I think players are kind of buying into Amarin, it seems like. And it does look like a very different team, just mentality wise from Ten Hag. Um, so now it just seems like you just need to get the profiles to fit what Amarin wants.
Yeah. I think the only player who probably had an off day, or he's had a few off performances, is the guy who you refer to as WWE track star, Hoyland.
Oh yeah, that
I think he's still raw. Like I think he needs to learn from like a quality striker. So he'll just take time. But everyone else, I thought they had a really good performance. But yeah, like you highlighted, Bruno, Maguire, and
hmm
Ugarte, the three standouts.
yeah. And then switching to Arsenal's side, talk about so they
Hold
def
that set piece, coach. Hold that. No set piece goals.
uh they yeah, attacking wise, they just even Odegaard, I don't know, without Saka, he just doesn't look the same attacking wise.
Yeah, I feel like him and Saka just have such a connection when,
Hmm
well, Saka, he can take the game by himself. We saw when Odegaard was missing, but yeah, I don't know. Odegaard, he's I feel like he's like caught up in like two minds at times.
Hmm. He delays a lot of passes too, and I mean he's still incredible, but he just does look a little off of it right now. Um, that might just be his teammates around him, but Havertz definitely looks poor. And I mean Chelsea, we're the best like sellers, dude. Like
Best finessers.
we do finesse teams, dude. Havertz, Jorginho, Warner, like teams are buying these
Mount,
guys up.
y'all need to serve
Yeah.
some prison time for this robbery.
Apparently we're trying to sell Viego for like 40 mil or something
Jeez.
ridiculous. I kind of wish we would keep him because he's so versatile. But
Mm.
anyways, yeah, Arsenal they need to upgrade Havertz. He's just not it. And then I still think the left side too. They need a proper like starting left winger.
Yeah. They gotta cash in like at some point.
Mhm.
And then I didn't even know he was on the field until he had a missed chance. Was like Marino. He
Yeah, he
was
was quiet.
non-existent in that game. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. You think? I feel like it is because Premier League Arsenal. Um, I think I don't think they'll win the title, but like if Chelsea, like it sucks for Arteta's point of view, like how two new managers are doing so well in Slot and Maresca. Like if
Hmm.
you guys finish above them and Liverpool obviously with the title, like is it uncomfortable conversations for Arteta next year, or is it already starting to be uncomfortable conversations for that man?
Uh, it's hard to say because he's really turned Arsenal around though, with like ever since he's come on. Um, but he hasn't been improving the last couple years. I will say, like when he initially came on, the first two, three, like you saw this huge improvement, and then, but now he's just I think they've actually slowly gotten worse.
I think so too. They've
Um,
regressed.
they have, and I think it just comes down. They just didn't go into the transfer market, and I mean, look at every other top team. Teams are constantly trying to improve their attack, um, and Arsenal just hasn't done that. And I think Arteta did say like, yeah, that's a mistake I made. So you kind of live and you learn, considering this is his first head coaching job too. So I think it would be unfair for him to be sacked now, but I think maybe give him this year, see what he does next year, and then
I think next year is when the real talking will get because now he'll have
yeah,
a chance to. Everyone knows the elephant in the room, striker, so he'll get a striker, and if they still don't improve or challenge for the title, then
yeah.
I didn't realize it's time flies. It's already his fifth year.
Hmm. Well, this is his sixth, right? Or is this
Or,
his fifth?
or I
He's
guess he's
completed
done
five?
five. He's done
Yeah.
5 full years. Yeah.
So,
Certain men
y-
have got sacked, got two trophies in 2 years' time.
oh, yeah,
People
that man.
clowning.
But I mean, Arsenal are on different levels than United, I think.
Yeah, 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 they
Like
are.
Arsenal are definitely better, but like
I just like to give them a little bit of trolling.
you guys matched up well that one game. And I think this felt like prime Premier League Barkley. Like I'm tired of the City, Liverpool like shenanigan like this soft pretty like this was like a back in the day like prime Barclays
Hmm.
Premier League.
Had some heated
I,
moments.
yeah, I love that type of environment. But yeah, I think Arteta he's gonna learn from kind of the season. He didn't like go out and get any strikers and try to prove his team on that front, but he's kind of lose like even when they lost in the Carabao Cup to Newcastle in the first leg, like the excuses he was making was pretty pathetic.
The balls.
He was reaching, yeah.
Yeah.
But should we move on to the Premier League games from
Let's
the
do
past
it.
couple days? Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Also in the FA
so we'll
Cup,
start.
sorry, real quick in the FA Cup, shout out to the non-league team that almost pulled the upset on Tottenham. Big praise. Uh, I don't even know how to say that
Oh, that was
name.
crazy.
Like their left
Adam.
back was like a plumber, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then one of them was like a school teacher or something and just
Hmm.
plays on the side. It was crazy. But yeah, what they lost in overtime, they just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, didn't have the legs. So.
Shout out to our brown brother in goal though, captain.
Hmm. Yes, sir. But yeah, let's
Uh,
go into the Premier League.
okay, so yesterday we had some handful of games. I guess we can start with my boys, Stamford Bridge. Ended up tying Bournemouth 2-2. We got the first goal. Bournemouth came back with two goals in the second half to start, and then Reece James scored an equalizer at the end. Um,
15
man,
games,
Cole,
James. Bet.
dude, an assist and then a goal now. But that Cole Palmer finish was ridiculous, man, where he sat down the keeper,
Yeah.
ice cold. Um, but man, it just feels like the same story with us right now. We are kind of in a rough patch right now, but we dominate these games and then we just kind of uh like we had a ton of chances where we just kind of wasted chances and just kind of played like, oh, we're just gonna walk all over Bournemouth, and then we made one little error, Lavia giving the ball away cheaply, just because we're too casual and we think it's gonna be too easy, and then uh they get a penalty, and then Semenyo, dude, that his second goal was
Crazy
ridiculous. Like
finish.
literally the only place he could have put it to score. And then so we were really clawing back at the end. But again, it was just a game of just I think missed chances by us. You can see it by expected goals. I think it was like 3 to 1.5. Um,
Yeah.
but this game wasted chances. Palace wasted chances. Ipswich and Fulham. So it's been a rough patch of games. We haven't won the past four Premier League games, so I'm dropping some points. I'm kind of glad though because it doesn't really put pressure on us, and I wasn't expecting us to win it anyways this year. But Cole Palmer, second now for goals and assists in the league, 20.
Behind Salah.
Hmm.
Good company. Um, yeah, I thought you guys should have. And that's the issue. If you don't put your chances away, it just gives the other team some hope, confidence going forward. So you guys should have put the game to bed first half. Jackson had
Hmm.
kind of went. He's had a really good year, but I feel like past few games slowly revert to his old ways, not being clinical enough.
I think the last 5 games we've been playing that
Yeah.
stretch, he's looked poor, like finishing wise.
Um, because just in that first half, you guys had four big chances missed. I know one he hit the post. One Travers made a really good save, credit to him. But
Hmm.
1-0 at half, and so that just gave Bournemouth hope. And I feel like second half they kind of really dominated. Um, but yeah.
At times, I feel like last year, what I liked about Palmer too is he was coming from the right.
Hmm.
And, right now, like surprisingly, his GA, he's still at 20. Um, but there's been a lot of games, especially in our bad run of forms, where he just kind of disappeared from games. And I kind of want to see him play maybe outright again. Maybe put João Felix has looked really good for us whenever he plays. Maybe
Yeah.
starting him at the 10.
Yeah, I like that shout. I'm a fan of Felix. So
Mhm.
versatile, creative. So
What do you think about our youngster at center back, Josh Achimpong?
I thought he's done pretty good, honestly. Um, for being like a, so young. What is he, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, being that young, I thought he's come in, played really well. Um, I will say Tosin, that was a crazy block on that cutback.
Yeah, I know you're pretty high on Tosin. I'm kind of surprised. He's been putting in good performances that he hasn't been rewarded with the start.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I thought he's been playing well too, but um, Looks like this youngster's getting a lot of opportunities.
Hmm.
And I will say, Cucurella, that man, he's irks the life out of me with his antics and flops, and
You don't think that was a red?
it could have been, but the way he's Oscar bound. If
No, dude. I mean, VAR called the ref over to have a look, and
Yeah, it should have
you're
been a
supposed to
red,
look for
but he
red.
he made it Cucurella made it look a lot worse than it really was. Like, come on, bro. That man,
He,
He's an
he had
Oscar
to
winning.
he had to sell it because the ref obviously wasn't interested. But even the ref, like when you get called over, you're not allowed to give a yellow, are you? I was confused. I thought when you get called over for a missed potential red, you can only give a red or no red.
Oh, he gave the yellow after monitor?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
right? Maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah, I don't yeah, I think that's the case though. You can only give like a red or just
Yeah,
keep
that's
it as a foul. Yeah.
huge controversy. Um, because Brooks almost scored later,
Hmm.
10 minutes later. But dude, Semenyo, that should be in Arsenal's radar.
Yeah, that goal was ridiculous.
Hmm.
It's crazy his come up started at Bristol. Yeah, he's huge too, like strength wise and height wise. Like his hold up play is like very underrated.
Hmm. He's at his prime right now,
Hmm.
25 years old.
I think that's the strategy Arsenal need to go with is like get an affordable striker or an affordable left winger and then cash out on the other alternative. So like go for like a Semenyo and then cash out on a striker or go for like a good like pay for a striker, like not cash out, but then cash out all in for like a Liao or something.
Mm. I mean, they've tried to get established strikers. Again, Chelsea, we sold like Havertz for like 50 million, and Sterling. I forgot about we sold Sterling to Arsenal too, like 30 plus mil.
Jeez. Yeah. Finessers.
All right. So, yeah, it's been slightly disappointing slump, but I'm still proud of what we've done so far.
Oh
It's,
yeah, log.
it's far
Oh,
exceeded
yeah.
everyone's expectations. So,
I
I'd
think
be
everyone's
happy.
expectations was like just making top 10 was like a benchmark for a lot of people.
Relax. Just top 10.
I think so. Because a lot of people thought like you guys were shambolic in terms of like just your squad overload, like not knowing your best 11 is going to take time, having a brand new manager. Um, I think a lot of people would think you guys would have finished like probably around like eighth, like myself included. I had you guys like seven, eight, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, that is something listeners will probably revisit our preseason predictions and stuff, um, just to see how close we are. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you had put. I think I had them like top six, I think. Um, but moving away from that game, slightly disappointing, but we move on is let's go to West Ham, Fulham, 3-2. Very exciting, entertaining game. But I think Leno had a poor game, cost Fulham a couple goals here. Um,
Well, that
but
first goal, I think that was a little more on Pereira too. Um,
really, I thought Leno, like when you can see the field, why not just put your foot through the ball versus like Prayer really didn't have any options.
yeah, he was kind of under pressure immediately.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought Fulham had, yeah, Fulham kind of just shot themselves in the foot this game.
Yeah.
The
But
mistakes.
it will be with the cheeky crosses though.
Yeah,
Prime.
you think they were? Yeah, I definitely think that he meant to cross them, but
Both. Oh yeah,
both
for
of them,
sure.
yeah.
Both. Yeah. But I feel like you're taught that at such a young age. Every time it's just like whenever you whip it in, like
Hmm.
whip it in with some good pace, but then also like try to keep it somewhat on target, far post if you have a
Exactly.
chance.
Yeah. But Fulham had their chances. They almost had that early goal from like a throw in. West Ham were kind of asleep. Um,
Hmm.
I forget who. I think it was Jimenez that missed the
Jimenez.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Wilson, I think, tried to bang in the rebound and hit the crossbar, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
But this was the Premier League debut for Potter. So we got to see kind of like the players he might favor. Um,
yeah, it definitely felt like Fulham were the more dominant team, but like you said, they shot themselves in the foot and just
I think so
created their
too.
own errors.
hmm Is there any player you think Potter will be a fan of or utilize a lot more?
Uh,
It does suck like Bowen's out for some time for him.
yeah, that's a big loss. I'm trying to think back to his like Brighton and Chelsea days. A huge focal point for him was always like a deep lying kind of center mid
hmm
uh that can also play the ball. So I think someone that's been low key kind of quiet um has been Alvarez in
Yeah.
the midfield uh ever since joining West Ham. So I think maybe under Potter he gets revitalized. I don't know if it will be like one of Potter's favorites, but that's always been like a important position for Potter.
Yeah. I think that position as well as like I think he needs those outside backs to have pretty good offensively as well
Hmm.
as being able to run up and down. I think Emerson can help, but he is kind of aging, so um because we saw Stupion, he'd be up and down the flank the entire game, and really good at providing the balls in there.
Yeah, Juan Bissaka is perfect for that role on the other side.
hmm
And then he also loved playing like with his defender, like his center backs too.
Yeah,
So
up the back.
yeah.
Kilman, yeah, that would work for him.
Yeah, Kilman's pretty good at that. Mavropanos, I haven't watched him as much to really know his abilities, but I know Potter loved playing out of the back. So now if we want to move on to the third game of that window was City Brentford, one of the more entertaining games. All these games were pretty entertaining, but uh, this one, second half was insane. City went up 2-0, and then Brentford with a late comeback. Wissa, nice composure to finish it off, and then Norgard at the very end to get the equalizer. What were your thoughts from this game?
Um, Thoughts I had were basically I think Savino is really growing.
Dude,
Um,
looks nasty.
yeah, he's really looking good. Um, Whereas before we only saw like glimpses here and there, but now he's like I feel like one of the main focal points of that attack. Um, De Bruyne, he's aging, but he's still the one kind of cutting the defenses apart. Um, Foden's not having like he's yeah, he got on the goal sheet and stuff, but still in terms of creativity and stuff, it's been a little down.
Hmm.
Like I feel like when you see people's name on the goal sheet, a lot of people just assume you automatically had a good game. But I don't think that's really the case with him. Uh, and then just defensively, they're still a little bit shambolic, or not a
Hmm.
little bit, a bit shambolic. I thought those two goals that Brentford scored. I mean, Brentford, granted, they are really good at home in terms of getting goals, but in the manner of which City conceded those two goals, I thought were a bit soft. What about you? What were your thoughts on this?
I thought Brentford were clearly the better team, and I feel like a draw was fair.
hmm
But if one team were to win, it should have been Brentford. But I do completely agree with your point on Savinho. He's definitely looked like the one bright spot going forward for City, and he's been consistent. And to your point, he's not really on the score sheet. I don't even know if he's scored in the Premier League. I think he has, but still he puts in better performances than others, and he doesn't get on the score sheet. Um, but then that Foden goal too, to your point, De Bruyne, that pass was like it was vintage De Bruyne. Um, And it just felt like City were kind of coming back to form there, but still Brentford, they wasted a few chances in the first half. And then that,
Wissam missed a lot of good chances that game.
oh yeah.
Um,
And I forget, I think Ake also had a like a goal line clearance
Yeah,
in that second half. But yeah, and Buemo and Wissa look super strong together. Like that connection that they have.
I think Wissa passed Ivan Toney also in the Brentford's like all-time scoring.
Yeah, he did. So, and now he's at 11 goals this year, and Buemo's at 13.
Crazy.
Um, and even that goal that Wissa had, it was like just out of Ake's reach for a header, but like Wissa with like composure, he had to like kind of sort his feet out and stuff, and it was a still pretty good finish.
Hmm. Yeah, I think once once Brentford got that goal, I was like, yeah, they'll probably get the equalizer just because of the vulnerability City's had. Um, like that first goal, like Bernardo Silva, he was a bit asleep there in the back post. And then that second goal, like who was it? I think Akanji. Like how you get like not pick up your man. Um,
Hmm.
so I think like to your point, I think Brentford deserved to win too, but a draw was fair. Um, like Brentford did miss a lot of good chances. But I will say give credit a little bit to City. They did have a few passages of play where they kind of look like their old self
Hmm.
in terms of moving the ball, but still very vulnerable and leaky.
Yeah, one player that I really like at Brentford, also is Damsgaard. He's he always kind of flies under the radar, and I don't know if it's just because he's like his hairline's pretty bad or something, but like he's always like flying under the radar. Like no one talks about him, but like the amount of progressive passes he had in that game, and to your point, like like the defenders was just kind of leaky, struggling, and like he was kind of tearing them apart with his passes.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, it just seems like he kind of goes under the radar, but he's been one of the better players for Brentford as well.
Yeah, I think he did like when he obviously blew up with Denmark. I think he did struggle a bit at first trying to get into the Brentford side, but I think this year's been a really big jump. Um,
Hmm.
where I think he's a bit, yeah, Mbeumo and Wissa are like the most undroppable, but he's kind of up there for like a penciled in starter.
Oh yeah.
Him, and I'm also another fan of this youngster. He kind of plays out of position, but like the work he does defensively, um, Lewis Potter,
Oh yeah, quality.
yeah, he's a really good player.
Yeah, Thomas Frank's done well with him, making him like a makeshift kind of left back. But I wonder if they'll actually go out this market and try to get a proper left back.
Yeah, I think they could. I know I said like Rico Henry they could work with, but you're kind of pushing for another one. So,
Yeah. But yeah, Damsgaard, it will be interesting. I always forget he's so young. I don't know what it is, but maybe just his hair. It's probably top 10 worst in the league.
geez,
Um,
24? Yeah.
but sometimes those players are gonna be like legit because they just want to play ball. They don't care
Don't
about
care about looks.
looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadio
But
Mane had that
he,
white white piece of,
white stripe, yeah.
yeah.
He updated that
Oh,
like once a year.
oh, I completely forgot to mention, and also during the transfer talk, but like one player who wasn't included in the 20 or 18 man squad for this City game was Kyle Walker
Oh, that's right.
because he wants out. And apparently he wants out of like he doesn't want to be in England as a whole. So like it's
You
looking a
think he
bit.
wants to secure the bag in Saudi?
Hmm.
Yeah. The his wife is diabolical mentality, dude. She
I didn't even know he had a wife.
Yeah, he's married. He has a lot of baby mamas. I'm just connecting the dots, just making assumptions. Is she's waiting to get to finalize a divorce, once he secures this Saudi bag. Doesn't want to do it beforehand.
She's playing some mind games.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Dang.
Again, I'm just
Yeah.
connecting these dots. They're not drawn in.
We thought Pet was a
Connected.
tactician. She might be the real tactician.
Yeah. So guys take notes there. And girls take notes. Um, all right. So yeah, let's move on from that game. And then the big one. I mean, who could have guessed this would be for a potential league winning battle? But Liverpool versus Nottingham ended up 1-1. Nottingham scored super early with Chris Wood, then 10 minutes, and then Liverpool ended up getting the equalizer with that Jota header at the end. Um, but man, shout out to Nottingham are they're giving me Leicester 2015 vibes right now.
Yeah, they're. I had them in the relegation zone. I think my main argument was because I thought Gibbs White would get a big move,
Hmm.
like a
I
key
remember you
piece in
saying that.
there. But man, I think in terms of teams that are like the most devastating, if you turn the ball over, I think Forest might be up there as the most devastating team. Like if
Yeah.
you lose
And
the
then
ball against them, it's over for you.
yeah, it's like them and then Liverpool's probably right there behind them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nottingham, they're playing incredible with like just a band of just a bunch of rejects too.
hmm Hudson-Odoi, Longa.
Chris Wood's been in the league forever, moving around.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I don't know. They just give me that like Leicester vibes of like when they won it. Like you said, on the counter, they're devastating. It's how Leicester played, and then they just defend so well, like Leicester did.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say Liverpool, I think, should have got the win. Um,
Hmm.
Sells, he's had a really good year. Made some crazy saves again today.
That one on Gakpo where he like saw it late in the corner was ridiculous.
Yeah, I thought that was just a bad shot at first, and then like when you see the replay, it was like crazy save.
Yeah.
What were your other thoughts on this game?
For me, also Salah, he's looked a little off the past few games now. Just with he's been wasting some chances and just doesn't look on it ever since that United game. I don't know if you feel the same way or.
Even that, yeah, that United game, he was quiet. He's got the PK.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was a little quiet today.
And it seems like every year, that first half, like before Christmas, he's like starts off on fire, and then he has his Christmas Instagram picture where every Muslim in the world starts bashing him, and then he just kind of falls off after that. He's still like good, but like his form dips just slightly.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Like he was really quiet today, and another player who was, I thought he wasn't quiet, but just poor impact was Luis Diaz. Um,
Hmm.
I thought he was missing like some good opportunities. Um, but yeah, I feel like yeah, I gotta cut Salah slack. He's been carrying this Liverpool team.
That's true. Yeah, he's what contributed to like 70% of their goals or something
Exactly, yeah.
ridiculous.
But I will say that first goal, yeah, came from a turnover, but again, you know whose side it came through. Alonga kind of
Yeah.
split between Trent. Uh, Even Konate, he's been slightly shaky, but
Yeah,
I
ever
give
since his
him,
injury.
yeah, injury, give him the benefit of the doubt for that. But yeah, Trent, he's been sleeping a little bit,
Yeah, he was
reverting to
just
his old ways.
he was just jogging, like no sense of urgency.
Yeah, that's the worrying part is like it doesn't, yeah, the urgency.
And then Robertson as well. I think this has to be his last year, like starting for the club.
Yeah.
Just
He
giving the ball away cheaply and
Mhm.
si props to Arne Slot though, take bringing on Simicast like when they needed a goal pretty bad, and he kind of came on and changed the game on its head.
Yeah, I think Roberts. I mean, he still be good coming off the bench for the like a few games starting here and there, like the cup ties
Hmm.
and stuff. But as a starter for big games, yeah, I don't think so. Um, I will say, like, obviously Wood, he's been great, but he's aging a bit. Um, and like the one player who I think is good for Forest, but obviously you just can't displace Wood in this type of form is Tyler Awoniyi or Taiwo Awoniyi.
Hmm.
You think he should try to get a move away or just wait out till his opportunity comes? Because I think there's a good player in there, but it's just hard to when someone's just in crazy goal scoring form, you can't take them out.
Yeah, I feel like you got to play it out this season. Just get the Premier League title, like try to get that title,
Mm,
ride the ship.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think he could potentially move to like a different team and maybe see the field more, but yeah, he's barely getting a glance at it.
And then again, just want to give a shout out to Elliot Anderson. I think he's one of the like obviously Forest's attack devastating. But Anderson's I think one who goes under the radar who's quite crucial and up there for one of the best transfers this year for sure.
And then also Nottingham, they made a lot of transfers, but they were all like super smart and they're all very impactful. But uh, the partnership with Merlo and Milinkovic, dude, that's one
Yeah,
of the strongest center back pairings right now in the league.
for sure. They complement each other really well. Like one's the aggressive one, almost like Arsenal's, but um where Milinkovic, he's like the more aggressor, put his head anywhere. Merlo, he's pretty good at distributing.
And Liverpool had that one counter with I think Diaz and Gakpo maybe,
Hmm.
and it was like 2-on-1 with Merlo, and Merlo kind of outfoxed them.
Yeah,
Um,
that was
that
impressive.
pair. So now they're still at the top with a game in hand, but um, Nottingham third place at 41, and then Liverpool at 47. Arsenal's at second with 43. Um, and then if we want to move on to today's games, we'll just cover uh, I guess one really big one, and then we can just first talk about Newcastle. Uh,
Mhm.
they're sneakily sneak. Oh, there we go with that word again. They're slowly, quietly coming out of nowhere.
What win streak are they on now? Like eight, 7, 8?
So they beat Wolves today, and then they beat Tottenham. They beat y'all, Villa, Ipswich, Leicester. Yeah, they're on a 6 game streak just in the league, and then they've won a ton of cup games in between as well. Um,
Jeez.
so now they've been boosted up to fourth now, um, with 38 points, so about 9 points behind Liverpool. But they got another 3-0 dub, 2 goals or all 3 goals from their two main guys, but Isak with two, and then Gordon with that third, assisted by Isak. Um,
Very unselfish because I know a lot of strikers there. I mean, bag your hat trick, but that was very unselfish just to secure the goal by Isak.
hmm Yeah, again, Isak, I think it was that first goal, like how far deep he dropped and like carried the ball himself.
Hmm.
Uh, man, he's just a different type of forward.
Yeah,
Um,
he's different gravy for sure.
he's I don't know, he kind of this might be a little out there, hot take, but um he really reminds me of Mbappe at times, his style.
minus the speed.
Yeah, minus the speed, but like just the way he kind of moves and is able to dribble and get past defenders.
Mhm.
But I do think his finishing is better than Mbappe's. Like some of the rockets he has is filthy.
Yeah. I'd say I say hot take, but I think Isak, quality wise, he has tools that are better than Mbappe.
Hmm.
Because I don't think Mbappe really his lingo plays as great, just because he does rely a lot on like his pace, like because it
Yeah.
he gets a step on you, it's done. Whereas Isak,
Hmm.
he's good at interchanging plays with teammates. So yeah, he's on another level. Um, Definitely up there for one of the best all around strikers in the maybe in the world at the moment.
Yeah, that's someone Arsenal probably could target too. But do you think there would be a chance that he moves?
I
Not
think
necessarily to Arsenal, but like just leaves Newcastle this year or after
I
the
think it would
season?
it would it would have to be like a top challenging team. Um and I think Newcastle would be tempted themselves because I think they still have PSR issues, right?
No,
So
they'll be they're I think they're fine after this year.
uh okay, so
But
that
yeah,
makes
that's
it
why they
more
were like kind of banished from making any
got
transfers and
it.
stuff.
It'll have to be a lot. I think it'll be upwards to like more than 130 mil,
Yeah,
especially
especially
to a Premier League rival. Like
yeah.
it's gonna be a lot.
And Newcastle, they're backed by the Saudi money too, so
Yeah, that is true.
it's
You
gonna
think
be
Isak would make I feel like Isak would want the move. It's just I don't know if Newcastle would want him to move.
yeah, I feel like Newcastle won't, but I don't know if I'm Isak too. I think I'd take this on as a challenge and try to see how far I can take Newcastle as like the main man.
Because there's still quite a young squad. Um,
Because what better can he do though? Like, yeah, he could go to Madrid and stuff, but I mean, you got Vinny and Mbappe and like you're not the main man, but like in the Premier League, you're playing for Newcastle, top four, and you could
I
be.
think, yeah, I think Newcastle they will have to secure Champions League this year though for him to stay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
If they're out of Champions League, I think he'll force a way out. But I think as long as they're top four, he'll stay.
All right, and then last game, we'll keep this one short, but just some talking points from the Arsenal Tottenham game. Uh, Arsenal, Sonny got a goal, a little lucky with a deflection, but that, and then Gabriel got another goal with a header today, and then Trossard got a goal before half, which ended up being the winner.
Sorry to cut you off, but did you see what minute was it? It was the 29th minute. It was a Cruyff that sent Pedro Porro to
Dude,
Mars and broke his ankle. How,
well, not even his ankle, it like broke his hip and knee.
yeah, he was just he sold that Cruyff turn really well, but like
I
Pedro Porro was broken.
I legit was like worried for poor. I thought he tore like
I thought he
a-
tore something too.
ACL or something.
It looked bad though.
It
Even
looked
the replay, it
terrible.
looked bad.
I was like, Poro, this right before a
It
Madrid
looked,
move.
yeah. The instant replays made it look a lot worse too. I thought he was seriously hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad. But yeah, that was one of the nastiest. It was just like he wasn't. That's how you get him, though. You kind of walk through your defender and like nonchalantly, and then just a
Huh?
quick change of pace like that. It's
Yeah.
nasty.
What do you think about Arsenal's winner? I know it came in the first half, but still the winner. I thought poor keeping.
Yeah, it came at him kind of fast, but still, you got to. He had his hands on it, so just got
Mhm.
to parry that away. But I thought Arsenal were a little lucky to come away with a win here. I thought Tottenham deserved a point here.
I will say I thought it was a little boring. Like I was looking forward to the match. Like
Hmm.
because I thought it was gonna be like pretty entertaining. First half I think it was a bit.
Yeah.
That second half I found it slightly boring.
Yeah, I think it comes down to Arteta's though, his class as a manager. Like he set his team up really well to defend and control the game. That
Yeah,
first half kind of seemed like it was so open, but then the second half it was a little more tactical. And then when he brought in Tierney, it was like, it's over.
Raps. Yeah. I yeah, that Tottenham keeper, he almost gave away two free goals, bad playing
With his
with his
feet.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that first goal, man, it was definitely off Trossard, don't you think?
Yeah, I think I
That
got
corner.
yeah. Oh, Arsenal's first goal. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
That
came
was
off to him
huge.
last.
And it looked pretty obvious.
You think you think that's one where you think VAR should step in?
Yeah, I think so. If it leads to a goal like that,
Yeah,
especially a team like Arsenal where like there's elite at
set
set
pieces.
piece, and that was a delicious delivery from Rice.
That was the thing versus like our game. We handled it well, but didn't have Rice or Saka who are like their best set piece takers.
Hmm.
It was poor. Whereas Rice, his set piece taking is like crazy good. Like
Yeah,
I feel like he'd be a danger in the box because of his size, but his deliveries are crazy.
it's always on point.
Hmm. But I will say one player who's impressed me, and it's crazy he's only how old is he? Gotta look him up. Yeah, he's only 18, is Lucas Bergvall.
Bergvall, yeah.
He's some sauce. He looks really good.
Wow, only 18.
Yeah.
He plays much more mature than that.
And yeah, two 18-year-olds in your starting 11, Archie Gray and Bergvall.
I
I
feel
feel
for Archie
bad.
Gray, dude.
Yeah. He looks better than Dragusin at times though, and he's not even a proper center back.
Well, I
He's a
feel for
defensive.
Dragusin though. I feel like if you stick Dragusin in like a Nottingham type defense, he would look elite.
Yeah, Tottenham is just not his forte, like suits
Yeah.
his style.
And
Um,
then that Jet Spence guy too. Shout out to him because he's looked pretty good whenever he plays for Spurs. He came out of nowhere too
hmm
because
Yeah,
he
I feel
played
like he had a
at
tough time at Spurs, starting his life at Spurs. He had a tough time.
yeah. Where did he come before Spurs? He was at Nottingham
Yeah.
in the
Um,
championship, right?
hmm So when Nottingham got promoted, it was him and Brennan Johnson that were like their star boys that like the fans loved. Um,
Uh,
and then yeah, Spurs they had a few chances they missed. I know right before the goal happened, Kulusevski had a really good chance. Raya saved. Um, but yeah, most of the chances for Spurs really came that first half. As you said, second half, Arteta kind of set his team up to hold
hmm
on and win. Um, and then Solanke, he's been impressing me too. He hasn't really been getting on the goal sheet, but as we've mentioned, like his hold up play has been really good, linking up.
hmm
And then for Arsenal, one player who's been impressing me is I don't know if you agree, but Lewis Skelly.
Yep, I was
He's
gonna
got
say.
he's got the build of like Timber. Like sometimes like at first glance it's hard to tell because Timber can play on the left too. So like when you see him at the same time, it's like you get confused of it at
And they
times.
both wear like the wrist tapes too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis Kelly too. What, he's 18 or something? I know everyone was talking
Yeah,
about
18.
Ethan Nwaneri coming in. I mean, Ethan's great. Um, Ethan's gonna be a star, but like this Lewis Kelly kid, he's he's saucy.
Yeah.
He's so versatile. He's like composed on the ball as a defender, but then can defend pretty well. And he's gone up against some pretty strong opponents too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was a little worried for him today when like Brennan Johnson came on and uh, just like having to maybe shadow Kulusevski, but he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he took care of business. Um, what do you think about their midfield three? Because I know in the FA Cup it was Odegaard, Jorginho, and Mikel Moreno, which I thought was I thought it was a weak midfield three. This one
Mhm.
started with Odegaard, Thomas Partey, and Declan Rice.
Yeah, I think this one's much better than
You
what they
think
had
this is the
before.
strongest combination? Or
Yeah, I'd agree.
yeah, I don't know. Mikel Moreno, yeah, he was good here and there in the Euros, but I don't know what the hype.
Yeah, I don't really get it. And even in the Euros, like it's only a few games that like he really made a name for himself. And that's the thing with like the World Cup and just international tournaments that people get these big moves. Like it's a small sample size and like he I don't know how he's like can add be like such a difference. Like I feel like he's good like coming off the bench for them, but
Mhm.
like Arsenal really needs someone that can come onto the team, like jump on just like in the first team. Because there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of positions where they can upgrade.
Um, and now I know we mentioned Lewis Skelly being quite impressive. Uh, who do you think takes that left back spot, like when everyone's fully fit? Calafiori? Because I like Calafiori too, but I don't know, Lewis Skelly, he's just different gravy too.
Yeah, I feel like right now you just got to ride the train with Lewis Kelly. He's been one of the bright spots,
Hmm.
but at least they'll have some depth, I guess. Especially just trying to manage the load of Calafiori and Timber.
Hmm.
And then if like Saliba and Gabriel, someone gets hurt too, they can always slot in
Back up.
Timber or Calafiori there.
Yeah, for sure.
So should we cover some games to watch this coming weekend?
Yep. We play Southampton tomorrow and Ipswich play Brighton. That's a Premier League games left to wrap up technically the game week. And then yeah, you can
You think
cover
you
it.
guys will you think you guys will score a couple versus Southampton
We
tomorrow?
should. Way we've been playing, we should definitely win, but I feel like we've been playing good when we're the underdog, so we'll see when we have to actually be the ones controlling the game. That should be an easy dub, knock on wood.
Um, yeah, I'll cover Premier League, and then if you want to cover some from across the other leagues,
Hmm.
um, we have in the morning on Saturday, the first game is Newcastle Bournemouth. Newcastle are in fourth, like I mentioned, and then Bournemouth though they're in eighth, but in terms of points, they're right behind, just 4 points behind Newcastle. And then 10 o'clock window, there's some couple entertaining games with Brentford, Liverpool. Um, and then West Ham Palace as well. And low-key Palace, they've been in pretty good form. Uh, they've won a few here. I know they got demolished by Arsenal like a month ago, but other than that, they've really picked up after a really slow start.
Hmm.
And then the big one Saturday afternoon is Arsenal Villa. Um,
Ooh.
and that's at the Emirates. And then moving on to Sunday, we have Everton Spurs. Everton's kind of fighting for relegation. Y'all play Brighton at
Ooh.
Old Trafford, so that'll be a good game. Um, kind of both mid-tier table teams right now. You have Nottingham should take care of business against Southampton, and then Ipswich versus City. So we'll see if Liam Delap can grab a couple against his former team. And then that following Monday, we play Wolves. I expect us to grab all 3 points at home there.
Yeah. Geez, sucks you play on a Monday. Um, Other big games. Sunday, we got um at noon in Serie A, we got Juventus versus AC Milan. Um, that 12 o'clock window will be just back-to-back games. Sal, we'll see if his dad gets another win. His dad's been having a great start as manager at Milan.
Oh yeah.
And then at 2:45, absolute fire, Atalanta versus Napoli.
Might be the game of the weekend.
Yeah, it might be. Hopefully Mateo Retegi's back. Um, and then the McDonald's League, we got FC Lens hosting PSG. Um, cool thing about FC Lens, I didn't realize their manager is Will Still. Shout outs to Football Manager. And then Sunday, we'll see if, I know we watched this game together last week, Harish. Barcelona just dominating Real Madrid
Hmm.
for the Spanish Super Cup. Barca, they won today 5-1 in the Copa del Rey versus Real Betis. So Sunday, we'll see if Real Madrid can bounce back versus Las Palmas. Um, and then my Marseille boys, they got an easy game versus Strasbourg. Um, those are really the only games.
And also on Friday in the Bundesliga, Frankfurt plays Dortmund. Frankfurt's in third right now, I think, and Dortmund's kind of struggling in the league, but Frankfurt, they've been super entertaining to watch, especially the one player. I think City's interested in him, Omar Marmoush,
Yes,
that
he's
winger
saucy.
slash, yeah. So I'm hoping he kind of comes to the Premier League. I wish he went to Liverpool though. Man, it would be cool to see him and Salah play together.
Oh yeah, that'd be a nice combo. Because Omar Mamouche, he's so versatile too.
Oh yeah, he can
Play
play
anywhere in the
anywhere.
front. Yeah. Um, yeah, that would be a big one for Dortmund, considering Dortmund yesterday they lost 4-2 versus Holstein Kiel, who's second to last in Bundesliga.
Mm.
Um, they're slacking, they're in 10th.
Yeah, they're struggling in the Bundesliga. They lost to Leverkusen, a pretty big one, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah. Apparently their manager is on the verge of getting sacked, with replacement being Ten Hag, are the rumors.
Oh, interesting.
See, I think Ten Hag would do good in these smaller teams, not
Yeah.
meant for a big team. Um, so those are all the games. Let me just give a quick breakout of the table. Top five, we got Liverpool in first, with one less game played than everyone, 47 points. Arsenal at second, 43. Forest at third, 41. Newcastle four at 38. Chelsea fifth at 37. Um, we're sitting in 15th
Mm.
at 23 points. If we win tomorrow, though, we'll jump Spurs. Uh,
Wow.
we'll be at 12th because we'll probably jump West Ham too if we win because of goal differential. And then the bottom, we got Everton at 16th at 17 points, Ipswich 17th at 16 points, Wolves 18th at 16 points, Leicester 19 at 14 points, and the worst team in Premier League history, who might beat Dar who might actually be in the contention for lowest points ever in Premier League history over Derby, Southampton 20th at 6 points. Um, so that 18th and 19th spot is very tight. We'll see what happens. But until next time, thank you all for listening to another episode of Super Subs Podcast. Next episode, we'll do another roundup. Peace out.